The talking, nagging, lucha watching, puro viewing, indie supporting, drinking, cursing, son of a gun of a podcast. Join former pro wrestler and promoter Dave Dynasty and co-host Ike Isaacs as they talk wrestling and interview those within the business, bringing positivity back to pro wrestling. This is the Dave Dynasty Show.
And welcome to the Dave Dynasty Show. Greetings to all. I am your host, Dave Dynasty, joined as always by my co-host,
Ike Isaacs.
We thank you for joining the podcast that is bringing positivity back to pro wrestling.
It's your favorite wrestler of mine, me. Oh, Messer right here.
The problem is Vince McMahon changed wrestling with what he wanted. Now there ain't no poking in the eyes. There ain't no wrestling. There ain't no heat. It's a joke. He got on there. Not only did he tell, he showed everybody how it's done, which is behind the scenes shit. But then he gets mad when it don't draw. Oh, we did it. Oh, we're doing this big angle, but you already told him it ain't real.
Yeah.
So it'd be like watching a Rocky movie, and now it's just a movie. So you used to go into shit. I had the guns pulled on me twice. I got fucking knife. I mean, you'd be fighting your way out of buildings and everything. And what an adrenaline rush that was. But that was the way wrestling used to be. And it would be like an IU Purdue basketball atmosphere. And it was with the good guy, the bad guy. I mean, they wanted to kill that bad guy. And the good guy, then girls would be crying and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And now you go in there, and it's like the Globetrotters are in town, or hey, the Ice Capades are here, and now it's an exhibition. Now it's just like a joke. It's a rib. And you got to remember, when we had the territories, now you go into Memphis, and a lot of times you get something hot, you do 8,000-9,000 people on a Monday night. Now WWE can't go to Memphis and do that twice a year. They took all these towns that we used to go to, like New Orleans, Baton Rouge, Oklahoma City, Tulsa, all these different places that were weekly towns. Now they do them once a year, twice a year. All these places that were geared to, draw 5,000-6,000 people on a week, and now they go once or twice a year and do that. And TV's all a rib because they can give away 10,000 tickets, and it looks like it's healthy. Then they adjust the seats, they adjust the cameras, blah, 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 and it looks healthy on TV. They can pipe in sound. You think, oh, this is Shangri-La. Yeah. It's basically a half-empty building. They give away all the free goddamn tickets, so it's never as you think it is. There ain't nothing in the wrestling business that's real that you think it is. Yeah. It's show business.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't, if I was breaking in today, I would have no interest in being a wrestler. It's just, when I got in, I didn't know if it was real or not, and was ready to get my ass kicked. And
for the most part, the last handful of years, Indiana's been it's been a rough area for guys to really break out of. I don't think there's a lot of bad wrestlers in Indiana. I think it's just guys that don't have the opportunity to spread out across the country or really get the exposure that they could have the opportunity to get if they would leave. And I mean, me, Dale Patrick's, Ace Perry, and Josh Crane took it upon ourselves to call ourselves the Young Dragons as kind of an homage to the original Naptown Dragons, Drake, Scotty, OMG, and Die Hard Dustin Lee, who did the same thing we're trying to do today and travel the country kind of representing Indiana as best as possible and make people realize that not everybody in Indiana is a 40-miler guy. Now that we're in the position that some people were in before us, like, it's really hard not to be cynical about things and look at guys like, I mean, once you've gotten to a certain level and you've learned a certain amount of, psychology and the way things are built and the way that we do things and why we do them, it's really hard to see somebody else who's not doing those things and realize, like, hey, just because you've learned it, they haven't yet. A lot of people look at that and then, their first thought is to just, shut it down. Right. People look at the young guys and they're like, oh, they don't know what they're doing. And instead of telling them, like, hey, I appreciate what you're doing. You're obviously putting in a lot of work. Now here's how you can mold it and make it better. a lot of guys are just looking at it and saying like, that's just not good, and then leaving it alone, like not passing on any knowledge, not helping them advance.
I think I have a dream, and I think I have a goal, and I think I'm going to stick to it. And I think people do it for many different reasons. Some people do it for money. Some people do it for fame. I do it because I wake up every morning and I can't get it out of my brain. I can't get it out of my head, and I can't get it out of my genes. My genes were built to do this. I have the ability to speak publicly. I have the athletic ability to perform and to have that balance and that acrobatic ability and that strength to lift up into combat in the ring and just I have it all. I really do think I have what it takes to be a wrestler, and that's not being cocky. That's just growing up and just realizing these things about myself. And it wasn't until these past few years that I really gained that confidence in myself. I do think I have the genes for it, but I will be a student of the industry for a very long time. I think a true master is an eternal student, and I think I will learn. And that's why I want to go to a school where I can learn this craft. I don't want to just go into it and start trying to do this shit. You know what I mean? I want to go learn from the best. So I think I'm gonna be a student until the day I die. I'm gonna be learning. I'm gonna be improving myself long after I, whether I make it to, whether I take a road stop at NXT or go straight to the WWE, it doesn't matter where I'm at. I'm going to be learning. It doesn't matter what organization I'm in. I'm going to be learning. I'm going to be improving, and I'm going to be using my genetics and the tools that are inherent in me to do that.
We're trying to wake up the world to the history, the past, present, and future of Indiana wrestling and how great it is. Whether it's having the legendary guests like Bobby Colt, like Jerry Graham Jr., El Bracero, all these Scott Romer, all these great guys that we have from history, whether it's those guys or whether it is the current and future stars that are out there that we've had on, like Trip Cassidy and Ace Perry and all these great guys, Cole Radrick, all these great guys, that's what we're trying to do here, right? We're trying to say, hey, wake up, world. Take a look here in the Hoosier State. We've got some great things going on now. We've had some great things going on in the past. You know what? Yeah, I understand there was a time period that Indiana wrestling was a little weak. Okay, whatever. Overall, Indiana wrestling is so underrated, and Indiana Pro Wrestling needs more attention. That's what we're trying to do in a positive fashion. Bring attention to the shows in Indiana, the talent in Indiana, the history of Indiana Pro Wrestling, and get it the attention it deserves. We thank you for joining us and helping us with that. Whether you're from Indiana or not doesn't matter. You should be able to appreciate this and these talents and this history and enjoy it. If you're a fan of pro wrestling, it doesn't matter. You don't have to be from Indiana, right? Because let's face it, a lot of these guys, these current and future talent guys, they're all over the place, right? There's a good chance they're going to be in your area, wherever it might be. Be good, be safe, and keep on growing. Thank you and goodbye.